Hi there. Uh, my name is TJ DiFrancesco. Um, this is what I look like. This is the room that I'm in. I'm not very used to recording myself, so please be gentle. And I will try to get through this without messing it up too bad, and hopefully without cursing. Thank you to Jean for setting this up. I'm really excited to um, talk with you guys a little bit today. And with that, I will dive into the questions. Um, where did you receive your degree? I have an MFA in poetry from the Iowa Writers Workshop. What does your current job entail? I work in advertising at Purina. I'm an associate creative director in the digital product branding group, which basically means any Purina product that's not food, not pet food. A lot of the brands that I'm working with are either new or are still in the research and development phase, which is really awesome. It's really awesome to start from scratch. So a lot of what I'm doing is creating brand identity, brand architecture, which can involve everything from archetyping to naming to creative campaign executions. In the past, I've worked on a lot of different things, though. I've worked on TV commercials, I've worked on coupons. I think it's important to understand how everything goes from concept to creative. So I've been lucky. And that's what I do. What about your MFA training helps you do your job? The first thing I want to say here, when I got into advertising, I had no shortage of people from my old program telling me I was a sellout, which is fine. I think that there's this weird thing where people assume that you need to be struggling or suffering to make art. That's never been something that I've thought. For me, creativity is about being expansive. It's about taking joy in creating something. And I think being able to take care of yourself and the people you care about, and to do all you can to make sure that you're healthy and happy is one of the best things that you can do for your writing. In addition to that, I think there's a couple skills that I learned in the MFA program that have really helped me. The first one is having a tough skin. Workshop can be hard. A lot of what we put in there is personal, and we don't always get the reaction that we thought we were going to get. But being able to separate who you are and what you do, or the creative expression of who you are, is important. Especially in a field like advertising, where you kind of live and die by the opinion of your client. Having tough skin is really, really important. Another thing that has really, and this is something that doesn't just help me in my professional life, this is something that helps me everywhere, is understanding the revision process. I think everyone has a different way of being creative. Everyone has a different process. So I think the MFA is it's good for fostering different types of creativity, but really it's about how do you take that set of ideas and cull it down to something useful, or how do you take that one idea and pare it down so it's the best version of itself. This is going to sound really stupid, but I've asked myself when working, how can I make this coupon, what does this coupon want to be? How do I make this coupon the best version of this coupon it can be? How do I do something in 4 words that's going to make somebody take this to a store and get $1 off of a can of cat food? But still, using that same kind of creative ability to focus and to tweak and to improve things has really made a difference for me. Um, did your MFA in writing help in the recruiting and interview process? I think some. There were definitely a few places I interviewed that recognized the name of the institution I went to. But really, for me, it's always kind of been about the work. Um, even if you don't, if you even if you haven't had a job before, I think it's still important to bring something that shows them what you can do. Um, Whether it's spec work or projects that you've worked on in school or some personal writing. In my portfolio, I always include one or two pieces of my own writing that I do for pleasure. I think uh, it gives interviewers another way to connect with you. I think it tells them a little bit more about yourself. It humanizes you. Um, and it can seem like when you're in an interview process that the most important thing is them liking you. Um, but it's also a two-way street. It's a way for you to connect with the interviewer more and to learn more about whether or not it's a place that you actually want to work. Um, but yeah, I think it's important to have a portfolio and to have work and to show that when you're in an interview that you've prepared, and that you really want to show them what you can do. Because that's what writing is. Writing is doing. Okay. Do you still write poetry away from the job? I do. I'm still publishing magazines every once in a while. I have a couple manuscripts that I'm working on, one of which is actually based on things that I've learned from advertising. Um, it's fun. It's fun. I love doing it. I don't know why I would ever stop. Even if I never get another thing published again in the world, I don't think I'll stop writing. How do you manage your own writing time? I used to feel like there a lot of pressure to keep a schedule. Um, I think it works for a lot of people. It's never been something that's worked for me. Um, the one thing that I do that I really find value in, and this is just me, so take this with a grain of salt, is I do what Ted Berrigan did. I collect lines. Whenever I think of a line in my head, whether I'm walking, I'm at the grocery store, whatever, I have a notes app on my phone and I write it down. And when I'm in a place where I can write, I do it. But I don't know. These days I only write when I feel like I have something to say. Um, but if a schedule works for you, a schedule works for you. Um, do you stay involved with the writing community? Um, I was never really involved with the writing community. Before grad school, I was a bartender. During grad school, I attended bar. And afterwards, now I do this. I think the writing community is important. I think it's a great way for people to find human connection, to continue to inspire them, to make their work better, to expose them to new kinds of work, new voices, all this stuff. I think the writing community can be an excellent resource for people. But it was just never something that I was really drawn to. I have a couple of friends that I met in my program that are some of the best friends I think I'll ever have. I talk with them every week. And for me, that kind of connection is enough. And we occasionally help each other with writing and trade manuscripts back and forth. But I don't know. I really just like them as people. So that's my writing community. Please feel free to add any other advice you might have for new graduates of an MFA in writing program. Okay, give me a second. Don't worry. The world will always need writers. There's always going to be ideas out there, and there's always going to be people who have ideas who can't explain them and will need you to do it for them. If you want to have a career in writing, you absolutely can. Especially for the poets out there, you're never going to make a lot of money writing poetry, so it's important to find a line of work or something that you can do that will take care of you and support the things that you want to do. Just understand why you write, and I think that'll help guide you through what you want to do. If writing is something that you want to keep separate from the rest of everything in your life, I think that's 100% okay. If you want to take the skills that you've learned and apply them, I think for me, I've learned so much for writing for a flooring company, writing for a dog food company, writing for a startup, writing for a meal kit service. I've learned a lot from each of these things that helps me develop as a person, in addition to being a writer. And the last thing I'd say, and this took me a long time to figure out, don't take your writing too seriously. Writing isn't who we are, it's something that we do. It's an expression of yourself, and it's an expression of all of you. So paying attention to the other parts of your life, the people in it, the experiences that you want to have, professionally what you want to do is part of that, but take care of yourself as a whole person, and then let writing be what brings all of that together and puts it out in the world. Yeah. I guess that's it for me today. Again, thank you so much, Gene, for setting this up. If you have any specific questions for me, I'll send in my email. I'm happy to talk. Yeah. Thanks again. Be well.